What's up? You got your boy Dyreck, aka Native Shades, reminding you to like and subscribe. Because today we're going to be talking about auto bass. Not really auto bass, but I'm going to show you a little bass trick. Something you might know, you might not know. But I have this beat. Play it real quick. Okay? All right, so we get what the beat is. Now, what I want to do is add a bass to the beat. Now, I can go to Fabric and search the thousands of sounds that it has and try to find a bass. But let's say if you don't have time for all that and you just need a quick bass. What I'm gonna do is the low filter sample trick. You know, like when you would like, let me play it again real quick. Take out the drums. And you hear how I have the sample playing here and basically put a low filter on it to create a bass, you know, to create like a low end bass kind of tone. Old school hip hop production classic. It's funny because we all know these things now, but these things were production secrets back in the day. Like, not everyone knew this type of stuff, but you know, with the invention of YouTube, everybody gives out the secrets, you know, which is all good. It's all good. But yeah, so what normally somebody would probably do is they would say, hey, I would just resample, filter that resampled sound, put it into my sequence, and there you know, you got your little filter. And yeah, pretty much you do. But the issue is, let's say if you're on track mutes and you want to mute tracks on and off to transition through your sequence, instead of it going to the next transition smoothly, that resampled filtered sample will play all the way out. You know what I'm saying? So let's say if you, let's say on a beat, when it's 1, 2, 3, 4, you move on to 2, you're going to hear it play out before you can smoothly transition. Now, you know, the quick fix to that is to time your transition and transition on the 1, so you get it right when it ends or it begins. But let's say if you just don't want to do all that and you just want to have your patterns transition smoothly, you know what I'm saying? Here's a little trick. Well, not a trick, but a technique, I guess. The first thing you're going to do is you have your program. So I call this program Stay Pure. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy the program. So let's press this little pencil joint here and press duplicate. And now you have Stay Pure 1. Let's rename it so, you know, we know really what it is. Let's call it Stay Pure Bass, since it's going to have the low filter bass. Okay, so this is our new program. Now, the next step, what we're going to do is the sample, the track with the sample, we're going to copy that track to an unused track. So the sample's on track 1. So let's hit the little pencil joint and copy track 1 to sample 4, which is unused. Well, let's copy it to sample 5 since we're going to go. Let's go to sample 5. You could do 4 or 5, whatever, but I'm going to do 5. Push do it. Okay, so now let me go to track mutes. Let me mute my track 1. So I just have track 5 here. And when I play, you know, I can even go to 5. When I play the sample, you hear the sample, right? Easy. So now what you're gonna do is this little, well, let's rename this sample. We're gonna rename this sample to sample bass, just so we know what it is. You know, it's important to know what the hell you're doing on this thing. Sometimes it can get confusing. If you got 20 tracks, you're like, hey, well, which one is this? Okay, this is track 1 and this is track 1 dash 1. But yeah, so it's sample bass. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna push this little eye figure right here. You know, it's crazy. The MPC keys, and you know, all the MPCs nowadays, this little way to add effects and stuff is so unintuitive. Like, you gotta press this little eye thing. I'm like, why is it so tiny? You miss it all the time. I'm like, they probably make it an eye because you can't really see it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna, you know, hit the eye thing, and it brings you into the section where you can add in your insert effects. So right now it's on group, which is, you know, you're gonna add the effects on the group. You know, I'm sure you know, if it was on this one right here, which the pads, it would add an effect on a single pad, like a specific pad. And if you hit the crown, it would add the effect on the whole sequence, like the whole output. But we want it on the group, these group of pads. So now, what effect we're gonna use? Let's use a low filter. So I'm gonna go to insert effect. Let me go to the filters, and let me just choose a low filter. Standard low filter. Okay. Let me well, let me turn it off. Let me turn it off real quick, just so that you cats can hear it. Let me just play the sample. So this is the sample, of course, without the filter. Let me turn the filter on. Okay, so we hear filter on it, right? So let's just make the filter a little bit more low filterish, you know. Turn up the resonance. Okay, this is cool. This is cool. Okay, so now let's go to the main section. Get out this eye thing. I gotta find it. But okay, so we're in the main section. Now we have the low filtered sample playing, right? Pretty much. So that's pretty much what you're gonna do. But now let's go to the first sample on the first Stay Pure program. Let me see. Let me go to mute groups. Let me mute out the low filter. This is the first sample. So this is the regular sample. And now when you add in the low filter, you know, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's there. So now you have the sample section. At any time, you could go to the low filtered section, and you pretty much have your low filter. Now, when you go to the main, so what's cool about this method, instead of just doing the resample method and filtering the sample, when you transition by muting one off and turning the mute on, it goes automatically to that transition. It doesn't play the whole sample loop. And another thing is, anything else you want to put a filter sample on, like let's say if you have a hook part and you want to put a filter sample on, all you got to do is copy the track to an unused track and just make sure it's on the filtered base program, you know, the filtered program. So it's like we have this. Okay, I'm gonna go to track mutes. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the drums. All right, so now we just have the snare going, and just like if the, you know, the snare's a sample, just like if it was any other sample and we wanted to add the filter on that part, we can go to the main menu. Let's go to the snare section. Okay, we can copy that to an unused track 4, do it. Okay, we're gonna mute off the snare 3. We're gonna leave unmuted the 4, and just make sure I'm on track 4. Okay, track 4 snare, and all you have to do now is just go to the filtered program, and as you hear, it's filtering the snare. So any sample you want, just copy the track, put it on the filtered bass program, and there you go. You get your filtered sound. So I like this method as far as to add a filter to my sample or whatever I'm doing rather than the resample method, because when I transition, it's a smooth, quick transition. Yeah, so that's about it. So this is your boy Dyreck, aka Native Shades, reminding you to go down low in the description and download that free Sin City Sound Library, and reminding you to like and subscribe. And I'm signing off.